to congratulate our scavenger hunt winners. We'd like to announce the winning team for the 2023 North American Youth Championship Scavenger Hunt. Throughout the week, these riders have displayed teamwork, strategy, and determination. They tested their creativity, knowledge, and problem solving, securing them the first place spot by over 1,000 points, racking up a total of
2,725 points. Please welcome the team Zone 7 as winners of the North American Youth Championship Scavenger Hunt. Prizes courtesy of Riders Boutique. Congratulations. So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and a warm welcome to our first of our freestyle classes for the 2023 FEI North American Youth Dressage Championships, brought to you by our presenting sponsor, USDF. We have 8 rides this evening. Placing of our 5-judge panel: at E is Mike Osinski from the United States. At H, Christoph Umbach from Luxembourg. C, President of the Grand Jury for our U25, Bill Warren from the United States. At M, Clive Halsall from Great Britain. And B is Cesar Lopardo Grana from the Argentine. So our first of 8 rides for our U25 freestyle class is going to be entry number 502, Blickpunkt 4, 18-year-old. Westphalian gelding by Bellissimo M. Out of Fascination by Federmark. Bred in Germany by Margaret Grigolite. Owned and ridden by Maria Jose Hernandez Gonzalez from Mexico.
And a very good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us here in Traverse City, Michigan, or wherever you are around the world. My name is Noah Ratner, and I'm tonight's commentator here at the North American Youth Championships and the U25, our inaugural U25 competition being held here this year. First of the riders in tonight's competition, just completing, representing Mexico, that was Maria Jose Hernandez Gonzalez and Blickpunkt 4. And our ground jury just coming to the end of their scoring for the first ride, tabulating their artistic marks right now. As this is the inaugural year of the U25 being held here at the North Americans, one of the elements that has been added for the very first time is the degree of difficulty system, the DOD system, and this parallels the senior programs within the FEI for our freestyles. This system was invented over the last few years and has been introduced into the Olympic Games as well as World Championships and our World Cup, most recently in Omaha, with great success. A lot of elements that are being factored into our first entry in the competition this evening are being analyzed electronically prior to the riders' start. The riders submit their floor plan to the ground jury, and unlike other levels of the freestyle competition, the floor plans are then delivered to the jury, and they are allowed to tabulate a starting value for the degree of difficulty, one of the elements on the artistic side of the marks. And here are Maria Jose Hernandez Gonzalez and Blickpunkt scores, and across the board tonight, you see the marks from the ground jury coming up with a technical overall score of 63.05, artistically 68.56, and that giving them overall a 65.805%. On the degree of difficulty side, you can see from the ground jury ranges anywhere between 6.3 and 7.1. Our ground jury tonight representing the United States, Michael Osinski, William Warren, and from Luxembourg, Christoph Umbach, and from Great Britain, Clive Halsall, and from Argentina, Cesar Loparrugrana. Come to the first of our riders riding for the United States. This is Alexander Dawson and Freedom. They're on the American team, Star Spangled. And we're coming up to one of the degree of difficulty elements in Alex's freestyle here. And getting green lights across the board, meaning that the judges did accept the difficulty on the combination of the sequence that he just rode before you. Another difficult element right there, the half pass into the two-time tempies on a curved line. Coming into another pirouette. One and a half pirouette there. And once again, achieving the degree of difficulty in that element. And the first to go for the United States, that was Alexander Dawson, and Freedom. Horse was owned by Barbara Cadwell, who owned his father, and other horses along the same pedigree. Alex has just completed his undergrad, headed into vet med at The Ohio State next year, alongside his work here in the arena at the Grand Prix level. Once again, this is the first year that the U25 program has been incorporated into the North American Youth Championships, which is really exciting for the Western countries to have this opportunity to integrate one of the programs that goes directly into the senior tours and the Grand Prix and our medium tours, giving them a good opportunity to get experience, have their first championships at the Grand Prix level. Grand jury scores are finalized now. You'll see those on the screen in just a moment. And the degree of difficulty scores coming up ranging between 6.7 and a 7.6. Technically, they have a 65.250% as their average. Artistically, 71.40. And that gives them a 69.185% for Alex and Freedom, our second in the U25 Grand Prix Freestyle. For most of the riders in this class, this is the first time that they're riding in a competition that uses the DoD system. Once again, that's great practice for them, especially as they look forward and come out of the U25 program into the senior tests and go to a CDI and have the opportunity to compete, where they will also be required to present their floor plan for their ride in the freestyle. Next in the lineup tonight is Cameron Wyman and Tice. They're riding freestyle tonight to music from the most recent version of Top Gun. I spoke to Cameron and her trainer, Allison Matthew, earlier in the competition week, and they said that the partnership is so focused on their power and the elegance. The music has quite a bit of patriotism and it's a nod to the military, which is very important to their family. And the power is brought to you by Tice, and the grace and elegance in the partnership brought by Cameron. And coming up to the first degree of difficulty element in Cameron's ride tonight. Those two tempi changes into a 1.5 pirouette. And I apologize to those of you tuning in, watching the freestyle this evening. They are having some technical difficulties here with the music. Doing our best to rectify that for you so you can enjoy the performances this evening. Cameron Wyman and Tice just coming to their final halt in their Grand Prix Freestyle here in the inaugural U25 competition at the North American Youth Championships. Cameron told me that final center line is their most difficult sequence in their freestyle, from passage into the half 10-meter circle and a pirouette fan. Cameron, a very experienced competitor here at the North American Youth Championships, has twice competed in the juniors, once in the Young Riders, and now in the U25, all on the same horse, which is very impressive to have that much of a journey in the North American program. Cameron working now as the dressage coordinator for HITS, bringing their program to life on the West Coast now in Del Mar at the Del Mar Horse Park. Originally from Washington State, now lives in New York. Cameron's one of a handful of the competitors in the class tonight that has a joker line, which is unique to the musical freestyle and the degree of difficulty program, which allows the riders to designate a line in their choreography that is unknown to the judges for the most part. They usually have 2 or 3 elements that they could perform, and it's basically a catch-all to make sure that if at some point during their test they don't perform one of the required movements, they have an opportunity to either do it a second time or do it for the first time successfully and get a score in the bank for the element that they're trying to achieve. Judges' scores coming up on the board for you there for Cameron Wyman and Tice. You can see that they have technical score overall 62.550, artistically 69.040. Their degree of difficulty that they achieved tonight, 6.8 to 7.1 is the range. Judges nearly in agreement there. Come next to the freestyle for Janaya Olsen and Beach Boy. This will be our first entry to see on Team Stars and Stripes, led by Chef to Keep George Williams. Janaya's musical freestyle has an impressive starting value for the degree of difficulty of 8.72. And if you compare that to similar sports that use a degree of difficulty system like figure skating with a maximum start value of 10, that's a pretty high start value for Grand Prix, especially for a youth athlete. So here we go, Janaya Olsen and Beach Boy riding for Stars and Stripes. Coming to the first of their do-a-D combinations, the half pass left into a piaffe pirouette. And into an extended trot. Both of the judges giving that combination a green light, awarding them the additional degree of difficulty points for that combination. Janaya told me before those one-time tempies always challenged them. Didn't quite come together for them tonight. Nailing those twos on a curved line. And one more difficult combination coming up. For the United States, Janaya Olsen and Beach Boy at their final halt for Stars and Stripes. Janaya originally from Switzerland. She is the youngest person in USDF history to earn their gold medal, earned that at age 13, and she's also the youngest rider today in this U25 competition, just at age 19. No doubt that she'll be able to get more experience, more road miles, and really put some work into this degree of difficulty and achieving all the elements that she set out to conquer tonight. She chose the Beethoven remix that you heard this evening. I hope you enjoyed that. I can just barely hear it as I'm not quite ringside this evening. We're still having technical difficulties on this end. Janaya says the horse has a difficulty in showing his emotions very well, so his love language to her is pinning his ears. That's how she knows that they're in sync. Janaya trains with Sarah Tubman. Just celebrated her birthday here at the North American Youth Championships day before last. Happy birthday, Sarah. Judges still coming together on their final marks. Here they are. Looks like a technical score of 63.550. Artistically, they get a 70.440. And overall, that gave them 66.995, pushing them into second place. On the degree of difficulty side, they get between a 7.1 and an 8.0 as the DoD mark. The judges do have the ability, despite the system automatically calculating the DoD, the degree of difficulty score, they do have the ability to modify that if they feel necessary. Can go up and down several tenths of a point, but for the most part, that is determined by the system electronically. One of the benefits of submitting the floor plan. Next to see tonight is Dennis E. Rogers and Chanel, also riding for the United States. Unfortunately, she had a line of ones going there, only achieved 7 of the one-time tempies before the interruption. That'll impact the degree of difficulty as well as the combination that she was going into in that part of the test. Tennessee doing her best there at the end of the test. Was quite tense and resisting quite a bit. Just trying to get to that final halt. One of the exciting and also somewhat challenging pieces of competing here in these U25 Grand Prix Freestyle tonight. On the other side of the competition berm from where this arena is tonight that our competition's taking place, they just completed their Grand Prix CSI 2-star competition, I believe. It was pretty impressive to be at a venue able to host 2 Grand Prix FEI level competitions simultaneously in different disciplines, all within a very small geographic space. But a great environment, a great opportunity for the competitors, especially for our multi-discipline riders. Have 2 of the Olympic disciplines side by side at the same venue. Scores coming up for Tennessee Rogers and Chanel. Technical score of 56.250. Artistically, they get a 63.60. And overall, that'll give them 59.925%. All of the judges agreeing with the system's generated degree of difficulty score ranging between a 6.2 and a 6.6. Next to see tonight for the United States is Emily Hewitt and Fidenz. They have a maximum degree of difficulty starting value of 7.94. Emily's music features a lot of tango music, her horse sired by tango. She says he's a big love, total cuddle bug, and a big goofball. Emily's sister Hannah Hewitt trained the horse and shares it with Emily. This is her final year riding the U25 division, and thrilled with the opportunity to be representing her country.
all you see
And right
are
into
silhouettes,
Passage.
and all you hear are castanets, and no one cares how late it gets. Now at Hernandez Hideaway. Strike a match, and you will know you're in Hernandez Hideaway. Ole. Just knock 3 times and whisper low. You're in Hernandez Hideaway.
Emily Hewitt and Fidenz coming to their final halt in their Grand Prix Freestyle. They struggled a little bit in the middle of the freestyle. Some of the elements they were intending to compete weren't able to be achieved successfully. That gives the ground jury a little bit of a challenge in the scoring of the test. With the degree of difficulty system, they do have the entire floor plan for the rider right in front of them so they can see what the rider was actually intending to do. Doesn't always come together, whether it be because of tension or riders sometimes might deviate from the floor plan, whether they've forgotten their sequence. Variety of reasons that could lead to that happening. Requires the judges to add elements onto the test, and so they are fully accounted for in any case. And the scores coming up now for Emily Hewitt and Fidenz. Technically, they achieve an overall score of 65.450, artistically 70.520%. That gave them an overall score of 67.895. Degree of difficulty, they had that maximum starting value of 7.94. They achieved scores between a 7.0 and a 7.6. One of the judges making a manual adjustment to the score, like I mentioned before. They do have the prerogative to do that, several tenths of a point up or down at their discretion.
And written by Brooke Manchester from Wyman.
Underway with the first of two Canadians in tonight's lineup. The Canadians took gold podium on our first day of the competition. This is Brooke Manchester and Arthur. That was another one of Brooke's Joker lines for this freestyle. Unfortunately, some tension getting in the way of demonstrating this horse's true skill tonight. Brooke Manchester and Arthur representing Canada. Brooke, originally from Montreal, Quebec, represented Canada in the Nations Cup in Wellington this season on the U25 team. They were bronze medalists there and also medalists individually on Arthur. They're declared for the Pan American Games for later this year in Santiago, Chile, hoping to represent Canada there in the small tour. Brooke dealing with the tension tonight very tactfully throughout the freestyle. She told me before the freestyle this evening that he's very jazzy, but he's also very spooky. He might seem laid back, but if you let your guard down, she said he'll spook at a dandelion. That degree of difficulty on Brooke's freestyle tonight also just very, very shy of a maximum of a 10 starting value. She started at 9.87, which is incredibly ambitious. If this freestyle had hit on all of the combinations, she would have a very, very high score on the artistic side of the freestyle. Brooke thankful to her mom and dad and grandparents, and of course Jill Irving for the ride on Arthur. Judges just at the end of their score sheet, and here come the scores. And the scores tonight, technical marks coming out to an average of 64.70, artistically a 70.920, and overall giving them a 67.810, sliding them into third place so far. Coming to the final ride in this Grand Prix Freestyle class tonight. Riders vying for individual medals tonight in the inaugural U25 Grand Prix Musical Freestyle. Once again, this is the very, very first year that the U25 has been incorporated into the North American Youth Championships. This is set to parallel and mimic the European Youth Championships, already incorporating the U25 into their program. North Americans finally having the opportunity to showcase their youth all the way up to the Grand Prix level for the first time in history here in North America. It's exciting to field 3 full teams for the competition this weekend, throughout the week here in Traverse City. Our wonderful host, the Traverse City Horse Shows, and our FEI North American Youth Championships, hosted and presented by the United States Dressage Federation. Final ride tonight, this is Claire Robinson and Glamour Boy representing Canada, riding to, you guessed it, Hamilton. Enjoy the ride. Always interesting watching the judges' marks come through for movements performed on a straight line, especially when there's a full house of judges, all 5 of them giving marks on that extended trot going down the long wall. Scores ranging between a 6 and a 7.5. Some of the judges able to see the straightness on that line. And the overall position, the judges have better angle on the sides. She comes into her walk tour. She is in the lead for the freestyle. Coming up to a difficult sequence here. Pirouette into 2-time tempies. Clean set of 2s coming out of that pirouette. That combination I mentioned before, the pirouette into the 2-time tempies, is one of the degree of difficulty combinations that they were intending to collect additional marks on. And some of the judges commenting on the score sheet that there was too much time between the end of the canter pirouette and going into the 2-time tempies to get those extra DOD points. Claire Robinson and Glamour Boy laying it down for Team Canada and fighting for that individual gold medal. Let's see if her scores can come together and put her at the top of the podium tonight for Canada in this inaugural U25 Grand Prix Musical Freestyle tonight. Musical Freestyle put together to a full collection of music from the hit Hamilton. Pirouettes into those tempi changes, sequences. Claire says that her horse has quite the personality. He doesn't like things touching him, so he wears a full bodysuit in his stall pretty much full time. They call him Superman, wearing his cape and bodysuit. Claire's very thankful for her family's support in her pursuit of competition at this level. Robinson family, all CDI level competitors in the junior, young rider, U25, and the CDI amateur division. It is a family affair. And here are the scores. Technical marks coming in at 68.50, artistically 73.680, and overall giving them a 71.090. That will give Canada the gold medal tonight, individually going to Claire Robinson and Glamour Boy. Claire Robinson and Glamour Boy also getting a personal best in the freestyle tonight. Active competitors throughout the West Coast and many of the CDIs in Southern California, Oregon, and beyond. Well done to Claire tonight and Glamour Boy. When I spoke to her earlier this afternoon, she said her focus tonight was just laying down a safe, clean test. They didn't have a very high start value on the degree of difficulty, only a 7.51, but she managed very well through the test tonight. Loaded environment, like I said before, with the jumping side of the competition just over the berm from the dressage competition arena. Some of the riders in the class earlier on really struggling with the environment this evening. Horses a bit tense, and Claire did what she set out to do. Once again, just safe, clean test. She said the passage was going to be their strongest element. That proved to be true this evening as well. Congratulate Canada on snagging another one of the gold medals here at the FEI North American Youth Championships, proudly presented by the United States Dressage Federation. Claire taking the gold medal this evening, Alex Dawson and Freedom taking the silver medal, Emily Hewitt and Fidenz for the United States taking the bronze medal. And we'd like to congratulate all of the riders in this inaugural CDI and FEI U25 competition this week. Have made history for the North American Youth Championships as the inaugural set of riders and teams. We had representatives for the United States, Canada, and individuals representing Mexico, hoping that the sport at this level will continue to grow in the future years at the North American Youth Championships. Also expanding, hopefully, in the future to include the children's division, growing the youth sports here in the North Americas. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us, tuning in this evening, wherever you are in the world. Hope you enjoyed our competition here in Traverse City, Michigan. Hosts of the 2023 FEI North American Youth Dressage Championships, our U25 Grand Prix Freestyle coming to a close. And once again, our athletes finishing this evening in this freestyle competition. Bronze medal going to the United States, Emily Hewitt and Fidenz. The silver medal being claimed by Alexander Dawson and Freedom. And your winner tonight on a score of 71.090, going to Canada, the gold medal, Claire Robinson with Glamour Boy. Coming up next here in the International Arena, we'll have our awards presentation. Our dignitaries getting in position to congratulate the athletes. Have a wonderful evening, and please join us on our final day of competition tomorrow, Sunday, here in Michigan. Our young rider freestyle, as well as the junior freestyle, our final competitions in this week of competition at the North American Youth Dressage Championships.
ladies and gentlemen, lined up our gold, silver, and bronze. And now President of the Grand Jury. Ladies and gentlemen, silver. This is Alexander Dawson from the United States with Barbara Cadwell's Freedom, 69.185. And ladies and gentlemen, for the inaugural U25 Freestyle Individual Championships of 2023, your gold medalist from Canada, Claire Robinson with Carol Robinson's Glamour Boy, 71.09. Now, wearing the gold medal, receiving the flowers, and congratulations from President of the Grand Jury. So we have a photo opportunity with those dignitaries. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to all rise and honor the flag as we play the anthem of the country of the winner of the gold medal. Please all rise as we play the anthem of Canada. So many congratulations. Let's have all medalists on the top podium for your group photo. The three of you, gold, silver, and bronze. Okay, medalists, I'm going to invite you to rejoin Glamour Boy, Freedom, and Fidens, those who did all the work, and remount ready for your lap of honor. Claire, I think you know the way from our team championships earlier this week. Going to invite you to lead off your other medal-winning colleagues on your lap of honor. There is Canada's Claire Robinson with Carol Robinson's Glamour Boy 71.09. For the gold medal, Alexander Dawson with Barbara Campbell's Freedom for silver and Emily Good with Pearson's Fidens for bronze. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your gold medalist from Canada, Claire Robinson with Glamour Boy. What a great way to round off our inaugural U25 championships here at the 2023 FEI North American Youth Dressage. have a lot more activity tomorrow, starting in the freestyle again. Have a great evening.
U.S. Equestrian.